2003 National Electrical Code does not contain any specific language prohibiting the installation of duplex receptacles above a grid ceiling. Therefore, it is incorrect to state that the 2003 NEC prohibits such installations. However, the 2020 National Electrical Code introduces a new requirement regarding receptacles installed above suspended ceilings. Specifically, 2020 NEC Section 410.67, titled Receptacles Installed Above Suspended Ceilings, mandates that receptacles installed in this manner must be listed for that specific purpose. This means that the receptacle itself must be designed, tested, and certified by a recognized testing laboratory to be suitable for installation above a suspended ceiling. The rationale behind this new requirement likely stems from concerns about safety and potential fire hazards. Installing a standard receptacle above a suspended ceiling could pose several risks. Firstly, the environment above a suspended ceiling is often used as a plenum space for air circulation, meaning it can contain dust, debris, and other combustible materials. A faulty or overheated receptacle could ignite these materials, leading to a fire. Secondly, access to receptacles above suspended ceilings is often limited, making it difficult to inspect and maintain them. This could lead to undetected problems such as loose connections or damaged wiring, which could also pose a fire hazard. Thirdly, standard receptacles may not be adequately protected from physical damage or environmental factors when installed above a suspended ceiling. This could lead to premature failure or malfunction of the receptacle. The requirement for listed receptacles addresses these concerns by ensuring that the receptacles are specifically designed and tested to withstand the conditions above a suspended ceiling. These receptacles are typically constructed of fire-resistant materials and are designed to minimize the risk of ignition or electrical shock. They may also include features such as tamper-resistant shutters or ground fault circuit interrupter protection to further enhance safety. To comply with the 2020 NEC requirement, it is essential to carefully select receptacles that are specifically listed for installation above suspended ceilings. The listing mark will typically be visible on the receptacle itself and will indicate the specific standards to which the receptacle has been tested. It is also important to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation to ensure that the receptacle is properly installed and grounded. In the context of designing electrical systems for ceiling-mounted projectors, it is important to consider the 2020 NEC requirement for listed receptacles above suspended ceilings. While it may have been common practice in the past to install standard duplex receptacles above the grid ceiling for this purpose, this is no longer permitted under the 2020 NEC. Instead, you must use receptacles that are specifically listed for this application. An alternative approach to consider is to install the receptacle flush in the grid tile, as you mentioned. This would eliminate the need for a listed receptacle above the suspended ceiling, as the receptacle would be considered to be installed in a readily accessible location. However, it is important to ensure that the receptacle is properly supported and protected from physical damage in this configuration. Another option to explore is to use a power outlet box that is specifically designed to be mounted above a suspended ceiling. These boxes typically include features such as cable clamps and grounding provisions to ensure a safe and reliable connection. It may also be listed for use in plenum spaces, which would further enhance safety. In summary, while the 2003 NEC does not prohibit the installation of duplex receptacles above a grid ceiling, the 2020 NEC requires that receptacles installed above suspended ceilings be listed for the purpose. This requirement is intended to enhance safety and prevent fire hazards. When designing electrical systems for ceiling-mounted projectors, it is important to comply with this requirement by using listed receptacles or by exploring alternative installation methods such as flush-mounted receptacles or power outlet boxes designed for suspended ceilings. When selecting a listed receptacle, consult the manufacturer's specifications to ensure it is suitable for the specific application and environmental conditions. Ensure that the receptacle's voltage and amperage ratings are compatible with the projector's power requirements. For example, if the projector requires 120 volts and 5 amps, the receptacle should have a rating of at least 120 volts and 15 amps to provide adequate capacity and prevent overheating. Pay attention to the receptacle's operating temperature range to ensure it can withstand the ambient temperature of the suspended ceiling. Consider the type of wiring method used to connect the receptacle. If using non-metallic sheathed cable, ensure the receptacle is listed for use with this type of cable. If using conduit, ensure the receptacle has the appropriate knockouts for conduit connections. Properly ground the receptacle to prevent electrical shock hazards. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for grounding the receptacle and connecting it to the building's grounding system. Inspect the receptacle regularly for signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged or worn receptacles immediately to prevent potential hazards. If you are unsure about any aspect of the installation or selection of receptacles above suspended ceilings, consult with a qualified electrical contractor or engineer. They can provide expert guidance and ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. It's also important to consider the accessibility of the receptacle for maintenance and repairs. Ensure that the receptacle is located in a place where it can be easily accessed without having to remove ceiling tiles or other obstructions. This will make it easier to perform routine inspections and repairs, which can help to prevent potential problems. In addition to the 2020 National Electrical Code, local building codes may also have specific requirements for electrical installations above suspended ceilings. Be sure to check with your local building department to ensure that your installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. The NEC provides minimum safety standards, and local codes may be more stringent. Proper planning and execution are key to ensuring a safe and compliant electrical installation above suspended ceilings. By carefully considering all of the relevant factors, you can create a reliable and safe electrical system that meets the needs of your application. For example, consider the use of a dedicated circuit for the projector receptacle. This can help to prevent overloading of the circuit and reduce the risk of tripping breakers. Use appropriately sized conductors for the circuit based on the load requirements of the projector and the ampacity of the conductors. Consult NEC Table 310.15b16 to determine the appropriate conductor size. Install overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, to protect the circuit from overloads and short circuits. The overcurrent protection device should be sized according to the ampacity of the conductors and the load requirements of the projector. Use appropriate wiring methods for the installation. Non-metallic sheath cable, conduit, or other approved wiring methods may be used. Ensure that the wiring method is properly supported and protected from physical damage. Properly terminate all conductors and connections. Use approved connectors and terminals to ensure a secure and reliable connection. Avoid loose connections, which can cause overheating and potential hazards. Label all circuits and receptacles clearly. This will help to identify the circuits and receptacles for maintenance and troubleshooting purposes. Use permanent labels that are resistant to fading or damage. Consider the use of surge protection devices to protect the projector from voltage surges and spikes. Surge protection devices can help to prevent damage to sensitive electronic equipment. Install the surge protection device at the receptacle or at the service entrance. Properly bond all metallic components of the electrical system. Bonding ensures that all metallic components are at the same electrical potential, which can help to prevent electrical shock hazards. Bond all metallic conduits, enclosures, and equipment. Consider the use of ground fault circuit interrupter protection for receptacles in damp or wet locations. Ground fault circuit interrupters can help to prevent electrical shock hazards by detecting ground faults and interrupting the circuit. Use ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles or circuit breakers. They inspect the electrical installation regularly for signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged or worn components immediately to prevent potential hazards. Perform regular maintenance, such as tightening connections and cleaning equipment. Keep the area around the electrical installation clean and free of debris. This will help to prevent overheating and reduce the risk of fire. Ensure that all personnel working on the electrical installation are properly trained and qualified. Only qualified electricians should perform electrical work. Follow all safety procedures and use appropriate personal protective equipment. To energize the circuit before performing any work on the electrical installation, use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is energized before touching any wires or components. Use insulated tools and equipment when working on electrical installations. Avoid working on electrical installations in wet or damp conditions. Be aware of the potential hazards associated with electricity and take precautions to protect yourself and others. Always consult with a qualified electrical contractor or engineer if you have any questions or concerns about electrical installations. They can provide expert guidance and ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. The NEC is a complex document, and it is important to stay up to date with the latest revisions and interpretations. Attend training courses and seminars to learn about the latest changes to the NEC. Subscribe to industry publications and online resources to stay informed about electrical safety and best practices. Participate in professional organizations and networking events to connect with other electrical professionals. Share your knowledge and experiences with others to promote electrical safety and excellence. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following these guidelines, you can help to create a safe and reliable electrical environment. A common voltage used in electrical systems is 120 volts. Another common voltage is 208 volts. Yet another common voltage is 277 volts. And then there's also 480 volts. These voltage levels are used in different applications depending on the power requirements of the equipment and the voltage distribution system. The electrical current is measured in amps. The amount of current flowing through a circuit depends on the voltage and the resistance of the circuit. The relationship between voltage, current, and resistance is described by Ohm's law, which states that voltage equals current times resistance. Resistance is measured in ohms. The resistance of a conductor depends on its material, length, and cross-sectional area. Conductors with low resistance allow more current to flow for a given voltage. Electrical circuits are often protected by overcurrent protection devices such as circuit breakers or fuses. These devices are designed to interrupt the circuit if the current exceeds a certain level, preventing damage to the equipment and reducing the risk of fire. Circuit breakers are resettable devices that can be tripped manually or automatically. Fuses are one-time devices that must be replaced after they blow. The selection of the appropriate overcurrent protection device depends on the ampacity of the conductors and the load requirements of the equipment. NEC Table 310.15b16 provides guidance on the ampacity of conductors. The NEC also contains requirements for grounding electrical systems. Grounding is the process of connecting the metallic parts of an electrical system to the earth, providing a path for fault current to flow back to the source. Grounding helps to prevent electrical shock hazards and reduce the risk of fire. Electrical equipment must be properly labeled with its voltage, amperage, and other important information. Labeling helps to ensure that the equipment is used safely and correctly. It also helps to identify the equipment for maintenance and troubleshooting purposes. Electrical installations must be inspected regularly for signs of damage or wear. Inspections help to identify potential problems before they become serious hazards. Electrical maintenance should be performed by qualified personnel. Maintenance includes tasks such as tightening connections, cleaning equipment, and replacing damaged components. Regular maintenance can help to extend the life of electrical equipment and improve its safety and reliability.